If you think that eating healthy means starving yourself, living with a rumbling stomach, and eating ridiculous portions, this video will blow your mind. Because that's the biggest lie you've been told about healthy eating. I see this all the time. People starting a healthy diet and literally eating half of what they used to eat. Chicken, broccoli, and sweet potatoes, but in tiny portions that wouldn't even feed a child. And then they complain that they're hungry, have no energy, and feel sick during their workout. But that's not how it works. Eating healthy isn't about quantity, it's about quality. And today, you're going to understand the difference once and for all. Before we begin, let me ask you an honest question. When you think of healthy food, what's the first image that comes to mind? I bet it's a small plate with a tiny amount of food and you looking at it thinking, how is this going to satisfy me? That's right. That's the mental trap the diet industry created. They made you believe that healthy equals little. The idea that if you want to lose weight or get in shape, you need to live in a state of hunger. And that's destroying your relationship with food and your health. The truth that nobody tells you is this: you can eat a lot and still be in a calorie deficit. You can feel satisfied, full, satiated, and continue losing fat, gaining muscle, and improving your health. How? Calorie density. This is the concept that will completely change your game. Calorie density is the amount of calories in a given volume or weight of food. Some foods have a lot of calories in a small volume. Others have few calories in a large volume. Let me give you a practical example that will make everything make sense. 100 grams of Brazil nuts have approximately 600 calories. 100 grams of broccoli has 30 calories. This means that you can eat 20 times more broccoli than Brazil nuts and have the same calories. 20 times. Think about the volume of that. Think about the difference in satiety. Now look at another example. A tablespoon of olive oil has 120 calories. A plate full of lettuce, tomato, cucumber, carrot, all together has about 80 calories. You can fill up on a giant salad for fewer calories than a tablespoon of olive oil. Do you understand where I'm going with this? The secret to eating healthy and feeling satisfied is to focus on foods with low caloric density. This means a lot of volume, a lot of food on the plate, but without exploding the calories. What are these foods? Let's go to the practical list. Category 1, non-starchy vegetables. Broccoli, cauliflower, spinach, lettuce, arugula, cucumber, tomato, zucchini, eggplant, bell pepper, asparagus. You can eat mountains of these vegetables. Literally fill the plate until it overflows. These foods have fiber, vitamins, minerals, and almost no calories. They fill you up, nourish you, and don't compromise your caloric deficit. Category 2, fruits with a high water content. Watermelon, strawberries, melon, oranges, apples, pears. These fruits have a lot of volume because of the water. They satiate you, and they also provide natural sugars for energy. A huge bowl of strawberries has fewer calories than a tiny industrialized cereal bar. Think about that. Category 3, lean proteins in generous volume. Chicken breast, white fish, egg whites, seafood. Protein is very satiating and has a high thermic effect. Your body spends energy just to digest it. You can eat 200, 300 grams of chicken breast and still be within a controlled total calorie intake. Nobody goes hungry eating 300 grams of chicken. Category 4, whole grain carbohydrates and tubers. Sweet potato, cassava, brown rice, oats, quinoa. These foods have fiber that increases volume and satiety. A large baked sweet potato has about 200 calories. You can be completely satisfied with this and still have caloric space left for the rest of the day. Now let's talk about the foods you need to control the quantity of. Not because they are bad, they aren't, but because they have high caloric density. Little volume, lots of calories. High density foods. Oils and olive oils, nuts and almonds, peanut butter, avocado, cheeses, chocolate, anything fried. These foods are healthy in moderate amounts. Good fats are essential, but if you don't control the portion, you destroy your caloric deficit without even realizing it. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, 200 calories. You don't even feel like you ate, and that's already 200 calories for your daily total. So the smart strategy is this. base your diet on low-density foods. You eat these as much as you want, fill your plate and feel satisfied, and you use high-density foods in moderation, measuring the portions. Let's put together a practical example of a meal for you to visualize. Example meal. Base of the dish, a mountain of sautéed broccoli, grilled zucchini, and a green salad. This already fills half the plate and is about 100 calories at most. Protein, 200 grams of grilled chicken breast, 300 calories, completely satiating. Carbohydrate, 1 large baked sweet potato, 200 calories. Healthy fat, 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil in the salad, 120 calories. Total, 720 calories. And look at the size of this plate. Look at the volume. You'll leave the table satisfied, full, happy. Now compare that to a normal fast food meal. A medium hamburger, a portion of French fries, and a soda. 1,200 calories. You eat quickly, you don't get properly satisfied, and in 2 hours you're hungry again. Same satiety? No. Same nutrition? Not even close. But you ate less in volume and consumed more calories. Do you understand the power of calorie density? Now let me tell you about a huge mistake people make, completely eliminating fats and carbohydrates to eat healthy. Dude, your body needs fat. It needs it for hormones, for absorbing vitamins, for brain function, and it needs carbohydrates for energy, especially if you work out. The mistake isn't eating fat or carbohydrates. The mistake is eating too much of the dense foods and too little of the voluminous foods. You can have a diet with 40% carbohydrate, 30% protein, 30% fat, perfectly healthy and balanced, and still be in a calorie deficit and feel full. How? By choosing whole grain carbohydrates in generous amounts, lean proteins in high volume, good fats in measured portions, and lots of vegetables. Another important point, fiber. This is the secret satiety hack. Fiber fills the stomach, slows digestion, keeps you full for hours, and it has almost no calories. If you focus on fiber-rich foods, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, you'll eat much more volume and feel satisfied all day. A plate of beans with brown rice and salad, it sustains you for 4-5 hours easily. Why? Protein from the beans, complex carbohydrate from the rice, and fiber from both, plus the salad. Now tell me, does this sound like a starvation diet? No, it sounds like real food in real quantities. So let's talk about hydration, because that also influences satiety. Many people confuse thirst with hunger. You're dehydrated, the brain interprets it as hunger, and you eat when in fact you only needed water. Drink at least 2 liters of water a day. More if you exercise, more if it's hot. Water has no calories, fills the stomach, improves everything in the body. And there's a trick. Drink a large glass of water 15 minutes before meals. This already gives you a pre-satiety, and you eat a little less naturally. Now, the practical part. How do you plan your daily meals thinking about volume and satiety?
Breakfast. Scrambled eggs with spinach and tomato. Large portion, high protein, low calories. Add a slice of whole wheat bread and a piece of fruit. You'll leave satisfied. Lunch. Vegetable-based dish. Always. Half the plate is salad and cooked vegetables. A quarter is lean protein. Another quarter is whole grain carbohydrate. A tablespoon of olive oil. Afternoon snack. Natural yogurt with chopped strawberries and a small handful of almonds. Or a large piece of fruit. Or baby carrots with hummus. Dinner. Similar to lunch. Vegetable base, protein, carbohydrate if you worked out. Or just protein and vegetables if you didn't work out. See, that's 4 substantial meals. You're not going hungry at any point. And depending on your caloric needs, this can perfectly put you in a deficit. And if you get that craving for junk food, eat it. But understand that it's a dense food. Fit it into your total daily caloric intake. You don't need to deprive yourself forever. You just need to be mindful. Want to eat chocolate? Go ahead. But instead of eating the whole bar without thinking, separate 3 or 4 squares. Savor it slowly, enjoy it, and go on with your day. That's the difference between having a healthy relationship with food and living on a seesaw of restriction and compulsion. Now, let me give you 3 golden tips to increase the volume of your meals without adding calories. Tip 1. Add vegetables to everything. Making pasta? Add zucchini spirals. Making rice? Mix in grated cauliflower. You increase the volume enormously and barely add calories. Tip 2. Always start with salad or soup. Fill up first with low-density foods. Then you eat the rest. You'll naturally eat less of the rest because you're already somewhat full. Tip 3. Use large plates with low-density foods and small plates with dense foods. Visual psychology works. A large plate full of salad looks like more food than a small plate with little food. And lastly, the truth that nobody wants to hear but needs to. Real change takes time. You won't change overnight. You won't wake up tomorrow loving broccoli if you hate it today. But you can start by adding 1 new vegetable per week. You can start by increasing the volume of 1 meal per day. Small, consistent changes over months create permanent transformation. Radical changes overnight create frustration and giving up. So stop thinking of dieting as punishment. Stop thinking that eating healthy means starving yourself. That's a lie. It's propaganda. It's manipulation by the diet industry that wants to sell magic solutions. The truth is, you can eat a lot, feel satisfied, and still have a healthy, strong, and lean body. You just need to understand caloric density and make smart choices. If this video changed your perspective on food, leave a like. Comment which low-density food you will add more to your diet, and subscribe to the channel for more content about nutrition and training without lies. Until next time.